Let's see, what do we have here? Oh, that's a big, beautiful agate. Wow. Let's take that home and clean that up. That's a big, beautiful agate. Wow. Oh my goodness. Shadow, really? There is no stopping that dog. Look at the scenery. It's cloudy and it is windy, and it was raining earlier a little bit, which begs the question, why do we rockhound? What motivates us to rockhound? I think I have the answer to that question. Stay tuned. I think you'll like it. That's agate all through there. Very fragmented, but beautiful agate. Here, Shadow and I are on our way to the same location we were at last week, where we found some really amazing seam agates, but I needed some tools to be able to break them out of the basalt. So we are on the edge of the Mojave Desert, the northeast, and also altitude-wise, you know, really edge of the Mojave Desert, where there's all kinds of Joshua trees and things like that. We stopped right here just to let Shadow out to run around, and then we're going to make our way up through those mountains. But while I was letting Shadow run around, I just kind of looked down on the ground a little bit and found some pretty cool stuff already. So I went and got my tool and the camera, and what do we have over here? Ah, got a cactus on me. Get off me. This thing won't come off. Oh my gosh. I get it off with one finger and it sticks to another. Okay. Yeah, that's a beautiful translucent agate there. Now, if it goes all the way through or not, we'll clean it up to find out, but it looks like it does to me. It's beautiful. That's a nice agate right there. That's a really nice one. So, I think we've explored this spot, which we didn't even expect to stop and do rockhounding in, but we did. We're going to go back up to where we were last week and see what we can find there. Okay, we've parked right where we parked last week, right by that information booth. And if you'll recall, if you watched last week's video, we walked right over about 200 yards in that direction, and we really found some spectacular samples, but they were embedded, lots of them, in the big boulders. So I brought some chisels, and we're going to just see if we can free up a few of them, and then we're going to have a little discussion on what motivates rockhounders. Stay tuned with me there. I think you'll enjoy it. You might recall that one that we saw last week. Now, I don't know how deep that goes, but I'm going to take my chisel to it and just see what I can retrieve from that boulder. Well, I chipped it out, and there you go. And it does indeed go all the way through. Look at that right there. It's just one big agate. You can see there's some good stuff in there. I think I'll take that back. It's going to be heavy, but I'm going to do it. What do we have right here? Oh, this is more manageable. Yeah, that's a beautiful agate. It looks like it goes through all the way. I could cut that on the saw. Let's take that one back. Look at that big colorful thing. And then I got to figure out how to get that one back to the truck. Well, I brought it from way over there to the road here. And I got it right there. And the truck is up there. So I'm going to drive the truck to here and load it up. Well, it's starting to rain here a little bit, but Shadow and I have made ourselves a fire. I've made myself some yellow curry. It's a little hot. I'm letting it cool. And I'm going to tell you in a minute why rockhounders, I think, do what they do. And what got me thinking about it was a video I watched just a few days ago by Jared at Currently Rockhounding. I'll put a link to that video in the description below. He showed his collection, and it is a very impressive collection. Very well organized in nice displays or different types of containers. But he had so much, he even had totes, but just tote after tote full of specimens. And I have the same problem. I don't have nearly as nice of a collection as he has, but I've got more rock than I know what to do with. So why then do we keep coming out and looking for more? Well, I think the answer lies in the Klondike Gold Rush of 1896 to 1898. 100,000 men took the trek north, up through Alaska, into the Yukon Territory in search of gold. A lot of them died. It was brutal. Most of them came back broke. A few came back spectacularly rich. One of those was not a gold miner, but a poet, Robert Service. He chronicled the incredible 3 years of that gold rush in beautiful poetry, and much of it you would recognize. The cremation of Sam McGee, the shooting of Dan McGrew, the spell of the Yukon, and many more. And that poetry became so popular that he became very, very wealthy off of the copyright and people buying his books and poetry. I think he captured the essence of why rockhounders rockhound. And I'm going to quote you 3 verses out of a very long poem. The Spell of the Yukon by Robert Service, 3 verses. I wanted the gold, and I sought it. I scrabbled and mucked like a slave. Be it famine or scurvy, I fought it. I hurled my youth into the grave. I wanted the gold, and I got it. Came out with a fortune last fall. Yet somehow, life's not what I thought it. Somehow the gold isn't all. No, there's a land. Have you seen it? It's the cussedest land that I know. From the big, dizzy mountains that screen it to the deep, death-like valleys below. Some say God was tired when he made it. Some say it's a fine land to shun. Maybe, but there's some that would trade it for no land on earth, and I'm one. Oh, there's gold, and it's haunting and haunting. It's luring me on as of old. But it isn't the gold that I'm wanting, so much as just finding the gold. It's the great, big, broad land way up yonder. It's the forests where silence has lease. It's the beauty that thrills me with wonder. It's the stillness that fills me with peace.